Hello, this week sees the anniversary both of the birth and of the death of David Bowie. He was born on the 8th of January 1947 and died on the 10th of January 2016. David Bowie, one of the most influential musicians of his generation and highly successful in terms of vinyl records. He holds the record for the largest number sold by any single artist. And he had a number of incarnations. He developed his music over the years in such a way that there was always something new about it, something developmental, but also associated with particular characters. Perhaps best known is Ziggy Stardust, who he dressed up as, and who he sang songs in the name of. But then later came the Thin White Duke, a persona that he developed and pursued again with some of his songs, and indeed in a film that he made. But these characters became very important for him. He says, off stage, I'm a robot. On stage, I achieve emotion. It's probably why I prefer dressing up as Ziggy to being David. And sometimes I think we find life easier if we develop a persona that isn't quite us. In certain company, we change who we are in order to fit in, chameleon-like, with the people around us. We want to please them. We don't want to feel out of place. And so we become slightly different from who we really deep down actually are. And of course, often this is important and inevitable, a social skill in some ways, the ability to relate to those around us. But if it comes at the cost of losing who we actually are, then I don't think it's necessarily a good thing to do. For David Bowie, it doesn't appear that it was. As you know, he suffered for a period from cocaine addiction. But he says about this, Ziggy wouldn't leave me alone for years. My whole personality was affected, and it became very dangerous. In other words, being somebody else can stop you being who you are to such an extent that it leads you down difficult and, in his case, dangerous paths. And so I think it's important that as we adjust who we are to meet the situation that we're in, we also need to make sure that we hold on to who we are, that we don't lose sight of that inner being. We don't want to become, as he put it, a robot. We want to develop our true personality, and I think that involves being on our own a little, to just be and find out who we are. It involves being careful not deliberately to hide bits of ourselves because we think they won't be acceptable to the people that we're with. And it involves trying to have the courage sometimes to be different, and perhaps to be or do things which may not be immediately popular with those around us. But if we're going to avoid the danger and difficulty that David Bowie experienced by inhabiting different personalities, then those are steps, I think, that we need to take.